Hello, today we're in my mostly empty student lounge, less of a student lounge, more of a coffee shop. And I wanted to share some updates on my project, some exciting updates, and then show you. And then I'm going to go into what I'm going to sort of be working on in this next chunk, which I'm not going to show all of it. I just wanted to give an update to like mark the start of this piece of my project, which is kind of what the videos are for. It's like, okay, work session began. Basically, I've had a few cool updates. First of all, since my last video, basically the researchers who wrote the paper that I'm really, really wanting to base all this on, I reached back out after about 2 weeks of not hearing anything, and then the researcher that I had emailed basically said that the other researcher was looking for the scripts for me, the simulation scripts. So that's really exciting, and I haven't gotten them yet, but it's hopefully on its way to me. I also went to class and found out that one of my professors, who I haven't spoken to in person yet, I've just been to their class, but they actually are, this is kind of like their thing, I guess, the hippocampus and spatial navigation and stuff. So I'm going to see if I can ask him to be a supervisor for my project. I'm thinking I'll have two supervisors, probably one person who is more neuroscience, more this, like the hippocampus and place cells and etc. To just basically look over my thought process and make sure that it works and that I have everything that I'd need. And one person who does computational modeling to just look over my script and my ideas and everything and just make sure they're fine. Now, here's another nice thing is that I found out that my school is giving each of us 500 pounds, like a little 500-pound budget in case we need anything for our projects. And one thing I was sort of struggling with was how do I get somebody to actually code things for me? Because that's a bit, it's just a lot to ask for free. And so I'm thinking I'm going to try to use that 500 pounds to pay somebody. I'll work with them and then I'll pay them for their time to basically code and the parts that I need because I don't know how to do it myself. So that was one big question mark of my project that I was thinking, like, how do I get someone to do that? But yeah, now it just makes a bit more sense. And hopefully I can find that and everything. Because, yeah, basically now I'm just going to jump into my project, my actual project, and show you what I've done so far. Because I've gotten quite a bit of work done just on my own. And then what I have been delving into recently. Okay, so here we are on my proposal. I did some editing of the intro, which isn't really that exciting. I basically went ahead and said I have already received the scripts because I don't want to send this until I have those. And I'm really hoping to get those. Obviously, if I don't, I'll change that, but I'm going to try not to send it until I have those scripts. Yeah, I just did some editing. It's not perfect yet, but basically just what I am trying to do. And I fixed up the relevance section. So one of my big writing goals for this weekend is to just get this one, get this section pretty much done, get it like tight, because it's not, I don't really need to do any more extra reading for this part, except if there's something kind of like a little missing piece, but I try to cut it down as much as I can so I'm not going into it for too long. But you can see I basically just put it all together. It's still a bit long for my liking. It's important though. I just don't know. I don't know, but it's important. And oh yeah, I'll probably cut it down though. But I might copy paste this and put it in another thing because then this can just go into my intro section when I actually write my paper. I haven't put in anything yet about this recovered memory piece. So that's kind of on the list too, is to write that, put all the information I have about that so far. Again, this I've been kind of treating this as my actual like rough draft for my paper because I feel like I was already kind of ready to write that, and it's already just sort of it would just be nice to be like transfer from here to just my paper, and not have to worry about that at the end because I already kind of did all the reading necessary. I just need to do the experiment part. So yeah. So then here we have my intro that a lot of this is just copy pasted. It's not my writing yet. It's just me doing like copy paste to do kind of a place marker and then just starting to put together different citations. So you can see The part that I'm working on right now, I would say my weakest point so far is that I need to sort of sort out what I think that binding, like the binding and replay, like what is the connection? How are they going to work together? What do I think they're going to be, sort of? And because I don't even think I fully can visualize yet what that is going to entail in my neural network, and that's one of the most important parts. So that's been kind of the thing. But this is the nice thing is that I actually, so I've been going back through and making sure that everything that there's some text that I've just been kind of lazy to put into my literature review, and they held information that were like was important. Again, my literature review, aka my giant list of notes, and for example, this one right here was a really important one. It was a very long, very long paper on sharp wave ripples. I'm not even fully done. Maybe like I think I might actually go into this text. I definitely will go into this text more because it was a really information dense, and I definitely learned a lot from it. So yeah, I've just been copy pasting it, which is why it's a bit of a mess. The other place that I was putting in more information is that I read a bunch of acetylcholine like papers, but I had my laptop conked out over the summer, like it just stopped working, and I had to get a new laptop, a refurbished new laptop, and my notes, all of my highlights that were on that computer just were gone, which is really annoying. But luckily it wasn't that many. It was just for these acetylcholine ones that were pretty short anyways. So I've just been putting my notes in for that. But again, I think sometimes it's been nice actually to come back to the text at the end because I have more information now, or I just feel more understanding of what I'm reading, and I have a better sense of what I need and what I'm looking for. So I feel like I've gotten more from them the second time around, which has been really useful. So for example, my thing is now 92 pages, by the way, which is insane. I've been sort of refollowing this trail that I mean it was relevant to me in the first place, but it wasn't as relevant as it is now. This little this little trail about ACH and attention. So, for example, this ACH, these basically, I've been trying to reread how ACH impacts attention and what's impacted there because I think that's going to go and coincide with what I'm looking for. So, like, for example, this study supported the role of cortical ACH in the detection of signals. So maybe if it's thrown off, you're over detecting the signals, little things like that that I just need to sort of back up in terms of how I'm gonna explain that. Or for example, I've been rereading I reread this one on consciousness this morning, and I've been the path I've been following recently has been this about selective attention and consciousness. So acetylcholine is responsible for is part of a mechanism of selective attention. So I guess attention on like a specific thing. I don't know how to explain that just yet, but yeah. So this has just been the sort of path I've been following as I reread, essentially. So I downloaded a bunch more papers to read right now, which is what I'm probably going to be doing. Okay, very messy little list here. Oh my goodness, some of these downloaded as an HTML, which is so annoying. But basically, all of these have something to do with acetylcholine and attention. I guess I'll flip through them so you can see, even though for whatever reason, some of them saved as HTMLs, but yeah. I haven't read the abstracts even because I was just downloading like just anything that seemed relevant at first. Basically just everything about ACH and learning. And I think that that's going to be probably the thing that's going to explain to me what I'm looking for when it comes to this memory binding, because I've been a little bit like, I know there's a something here, but how do I connect them? And yeah, so basically, because then after that, what I'm going to do is I'll be in this entire section, I'll be talking about memory binding and how things that are more, I guess, more arousing are more likely to get like this right here. There's the hypothesis that acute stress basically impairs consolidation of binding, but enhances consolidation of central details. I think that that's going to be the ACH piece there. I think that the way it's going to work, I'm going to write it here, even though it's not really, it shouldn't go here. going to be like, if something is tagged as novel, it's probably going to be like, this is in my neural network, maybe more likely to be more likely to be sort of to have attention on it in the context of my neural network. But I don't fully know that yet. I don't know if that's right. But if it's novel and stressful, I don't know. We'll see. Okay, hello. We're back home. I don't really know why I'm so glitched out at the moment. I think it's because I'm exporting my last video and it's just, I don't know, it's like wearing on my thing. But basically, my schedule's just been really wearing on me. So I'm gonna do a to-do list, like a big to-do list for the next few weeks. Next week is reading week for me, so I don't have class. So I want to get sort of configured because I've just been so behind and I keep getting really frustrated, I guess, or the schedule has just been wearing on me a lot. And I know it's almost done. I keep feeling like I've been waiting for this whole thing to just be done since the event. I would say it's like this thing. It's like ugh, it's almost over. It's almost over. It's like first it's like you're almost done with school. You're almost done with summer. Just get through the semester. Just get through this. And I was actually looking forward to my master's degree program because I thought, I really struggled in college, like in undergrad, because I had such bad mental health issues that I just was always having, I just couldn't really devote myself to my classes that much. And it's been kind of hard because I was really actually, I felt like my master's degree program was going to be a bit of a do-over. Like this time around, I can like be on top of everything and like just feel like I'm really immersed in classes and stuff. And I really haven't been, but for a good reason, which is that I just want to get this project done, It's been like a good thing. Like at least it's a productive reason, but it's kind of the same reason. It's just like it's like this extension of like just finish, just get it out of the way. Like I just wish that this whole entire thing would just be gone and but I'm so close to done as you can see. It's not that far, but it just feels like it keeps eating into my life, my free time. I'm usually someone who really likes to take care of my health or likes to exercise and stuff, and I haven't been like this is all a hormonal issues, I guess, from stress and like it's just yeah, it's been a bit hard stress wise for me to be doing like school, work, and then this project on top of it has been a lot. And just to feel like I'm constantly running behind on everything in life has been really annoying. It's just the worst feeling. And I keep being annoyed because I'm like, I'm working as hard as I can, but it just not, it's just never enough, it feels, which is really annoying. And that's just been also been the story of like the last few years of my life. Just this constant feeling of like inadequacy, like I'm not doing enough, but it's like I am genuinely doing everything that I can through like some kind of difficult circumstance or whatever. So, but I don't know. It's been really annoying. So that's kind of irritating, but again, it's like I'm grateful though because it's for a good reason this time, like a productive reason, a reason that makes me feel proud. It's just that I wish I didn't constantly feel like it was eating into my early 20s this way. Because also, I think it's also been wearing on me recently because I've been just devoting my extra time to this. And when I walk around campus, obviously here I'm just sitting, but I feel like when I'm out and about, I feel a little bit frumpy or like I want to have like a cute sense of style, be put together, all this stuff. Cause I don't know, I see girls walking around that are just, they look so cute. They have like a cute style. And I feel like I thought that this year was going to be for me to like work on my mental health, my physical health, to like just have this really year that's like all about me, And like, I don't know. And I just feel like my time just keeps being snatched by this experience. Again, now it's in a good way. It really does help my self-esteem, but I do feel like a little jealous sometimes when I see people walking around, they're like really put together and stuff, and like they're just like I don't know, they look cute, they look like they're having a fun time, and I don't know, I keep wanting this really aesthetic school experience, like this experience of like just going to the library, getting my work done, turning everything on time, feeling like you know what I mean. And I just keep not having it. Granted, I'm having this absolutely insane other academic experience, which is amazing, but my life has felt so abnormal for so long, and I keep searching for it to be normal, and it just doesn't. It doesn't really get normal ever. That's the thing that like kind of annoys me. It's like, okay, this is my normal year, but it's like
it's not normal because I'm doing something completely abnormal. It's like, when is the normal time gonna be, you know? Just like normal, waking up for my normal routine, doing my normal stuff, going to like my normal classes. It just never happens. It drives me insane. I don't know. I've had a pretty abnormal life, I think. Like, ever since I was young, I think my life's been pretty abnormal. But that's not a bad thing. So, anyways, I'm just gonna make this big to-do list. You see, I even bought like these cute notebooks and stuff. I was like all organized for the school year, and I just even I can't. There's certain classes that I just can't find them. It's really weird. Or like even I have a stats seminar. It's really weird. 2 weeks ago, I went there on time to that classroom, and it like it wasn't right. But then I went again to the same class the next week and it was right. Today I went to the same class, which is my seminar class. I didn't see any email saying the room had changed, but when I got there, nobody was there. And or for I have another class where on my timetable it says it's in this one room. So I keep going to that one room. It's in the most confusing building in the most like I'm like I'll be wandering around for like 20 minutes trying to find the room. Like literally I've gone 2 3 times. I'm like, where is this room? And then today I went to my like the page for the class. I was like, okay, now I'm here early, so I'm gonna find the room this time because I came early to actually make sure that because last time I was like, I made a breakthrough. I discovered how to get to it was like it doesn't have any signage for where this class is. And then I go upstairs and I'm like, okay, it's like you have to go through this back way, but through these back tunnels. And it's like, where even am I right now? And so I came early because I was like, okay, I finally discovered where these back tunnels were. I couldn't find them last time. Now I found them. And then I went to my page, and it turns out the class, it said in the page that it was in this other lecture hall in this other building. So literally the timetable and the page said different places. But I was like, okay, the page must be right. So I went to that other building that I'd never been to before, went to the lecture hall, or at least that's what it seemed to be labeled. I went to the only place in the entire thing that said lecture hall, and I went to that lecture hall and it was empty. So I was like, where are my classes? Like, where is everybody? I've never been to this class because I genuinely can't find it. Like, I've tried every week. I wander 20 minutes. Like, where's my class? And I genuinely have not been able to find it one time. I'm gonna email the professor and just be like, I'm sorry, I really don't understand how to find your class. Like, I've tried, but I don't know. It's just been kind of like a weird semester. It shouldn't be this complicated, but it's just been a complicated semester for me. I feel like magical thinking truly gets me through life because I'm like, okay, this is a sign to just go work on my project. Both times, like every time I can't find that class, I'm just like, okay, I'll just go work on my project then. So probably a good thing to do in the long run anyways, but yeah. And then I came home today. I was about to go to my last class and I was like, I can't. I just came home and I ended up sleeping. I didn't even think I was gonna sleep. I thought I was gonna come home and like chill, but I laid down for a second and I think I was just like dead exhausted because I fell asleep immediately and was asleep for like 2 3 hours. It's just been the worst. My busiest semester in the world, and it just like I'm doing fine at everything, but I feel like I'm flopping at everything. I was thinking a lot like the last few days about how I feel like what's interesting is that when it comes to science done for people in sort of marginalized communities, women in particular, I'm thinking of, but probably for other people too. When you hit a bump where there's like, oh, there's not enough clarification for this. We don't know the answer to this. I don't really know. Like, there's not an obvious sort of understanding as to why this is happening. It's like it ends up being a call to stop doing research. Like, don't do any more research now because like it's almost like case closed, impossible. Don't do more research. Meanwhile, when it's for a non-margin, like when it's a part like when it's not for a marginalized community, when it's something overall, it's like the sort of gaps are assigned to go do more research. You know what I mean? Like, okay, we don't know enough about X, I don't know, erectile dysfunction or something. Go do more research. We need to get more information to make sure that we fix this. And like, how do we get this done? Whereas when it comes to women's issues, it's like, oh, this is a blank spot. We don't really know why that's happening. There's sort of like a question mark, sort of like there's not, we don't know, we don't have enough information. And then first, when we don't have enough information means people don't know what they're talking about. It's all in your head. Don't do more research. More research is not needed. if there's a question as to why something is happening, you should always do more research. The answer is always do more research. The answer is always ask more people and get more information. Across the board, that should be the call. And that's what I found about the whole recovered memory thing, just dissociative amnesia, recovered memory, where it's like, oh, we don't have enough information. That means case closed. It's don't do any more research on it, and it's not necessary, and like just stop. You know what I mean? Where it's like it's fake. Don't do more. It's confabulation. Like case closed. It's false. And like it's not worth it to do more research, and it's like a waste. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of been like what I found, where when I read these sorts of, because I'm about to probably go into writing that in this video, but when I feel like what I was finding, or like this sort of mentality that was sort of implied in this recovered memory gap, was like it's fake. You know, obviously that was kind of the thing, or it's not real. So it wasn't, I feel like when people spoke about this gap, it wasn't a thing of we need to get more research, we need to ask more questions, we need to figure it out. It was like that's the solution and that's the end. It's not real, and like case closed. You know, it's like, no, stop closing the cases, open the cases, ask more questions, think outside the box more. That's what I really was thinking with this recovered memory thing. So it's like, it wasn't like, it just took a little bit of thinking outside the box and believing and having that faith, where I think that I could go down that route and have faith because I had faith in my experience. I've said that before, but that's what I've really found. And I think it's just I just think it's interesting how it depending on what group it is, the sort of gap is met with either case closed or let's do more research to close the gap, you know? So yeah, I was really thinking about that today, and yeah, we just need to do so much more work on women's health in general. And there's so many sort of missing pieces when it comes to women's health, or unanswered questions, where it's like, oh, the answer to the question is just, it's in your mind. Even for me, I was having a lot of difficulties in college because I was having like random other issues that are pretty normal, I would say, probably for people with stress or stuff. Like I started having really bad digestive issues. I stopped really being able to digest like gluten and stuff. Actually, this is probably partly because I decided to try gluten out the other day, and it didn't, no. I stopped being able to really like, I just had really bad digestive issues. I was having things that now I definitely think are linked to that high arousal sort of state where everything's felt spinny, like all these different things. And what sucks is that you go to the doctor and they say, well, it's just stress. And it's like, I would always come out of it a little annoyed, where it's like, it probably is coming from the fact that I have stress, but what's the chemical process? What can I do to help? Because if you just say, well, it's just stress, well, I can't naturally magically get rid of the stress. Whereas, for example, after doing that research, I was like, oh, if my arousal is high all the time, it probably means that acetylcholine is getting depleted. So I just started taking choline supplements 2 days ago. I'm not suggesting it. I just thought I'd try it now reading that, because I was like, maybe that would really really help me. And I've only been using it for 2 days. I'm not going to give an update on that yet, but I just thought I'd try it out. But things like that, where it's like, it is stress is the issue, but the stress is causing other chemical issues and other things to be depleted, right? It's like, oh, it's not necessarily, it's just that you're stressed. It's that the choline, or for example, in that situation, the choline is getting depleted. Your acetylcholine has been high. That's throwing off the way that you're processing the world. And that's making you feel this and this and that, where it's like there's more that we can tell people. And I think it's really frustrating how when you go in, I think I hated going to the doctor as someone who had been through trauma. And especially as a woman, it sucked, because everything could just be chalked down to stress, where it's like, yeah, I think the stress is deeply impacting my body and that's why I'm having these issues. But what about the stress? What's the stress doing to get me here? Like what chemical is the stress throwing off, and how can you help me with that? Where I'm not just gonna, oh, it's stress, oh, I'm just gonna stop stressing now. Like I'm not. So you know what I mean? That's what really annoys me. It's like there's gotta be a little bit more to say. And it felt like I always walked out with just that sort of little frustration of like, oh, it's just all in your head, where it's not all in your head. First of all, everything is in our head. All of reality is in our head. But at the same time, like, it would have been nice to walk in and be like, yeah, you might be getting you might be getting depleted in this particular nutrient, or like there's something getting depleted, there's something that's getting thrown off, or like even my digestive issues, I kind of just had to handle that. I just cut out gluten, I cut out dairy, and I did all the internet stuff people say to fix your health. I drink bone broth and all that stuff, which I know it's like kind of annoying to, I don't know, like, but I was like, what can I do? Because what's the alternative? That nobody really gives an alternative when it comes to stress and stuff, where it's like, yeah, the stress, it is stress, but like, I don't know, it's like, okay. I feel like it's nice to have myself as like a little lab rat. I don't know. I've really been doing a lot of, ever since, even before I was doing neurosciencey stuff, I would just observe a lot, like observe my head or observe my body and try to be like, what's happening here? And yeah, it's been really useful to see the sort of stages that I've gone through with healing. Like, I don't know, even for example, I don't know, I used to go through more mental spirals and stuff. I don't know, I've actually been really curious. Yeah, I've been really curious to do more research. And yeah, I've just been trying to see, like, imagine what's going on. I'm curious to see if the choline is going to help, the choline supplement. And then I want to see, like, I'm almost, again, it's like I'm being my lab rat. Like, what's going to happen? How is that going to impact me, and how is that going to impact the way that I navigate the world, or will it? And I don't know, just little things like that where it's just kind of interesting to see my own healing process, because I'm like an understudied, like I'm in an understudied gap. So I think yeah, it's just been interesting to study myself as someone who's understudied and be like, okay, I don't think there's a paper yet out on choline and dissociation. And it's just interesting to be like, I don't know, just like observe like what's going on here, and like what can I translate into science. It's been kind of fun. I already have more things I want to read based on that, actually. I'm my own source of research. It's so funny. Literally, my research is just how can I stop being traumatized and feel like crap all the time. I was saying though, I usually take really good care of my health. I feel like when I was particularly when I was in college, I didn't know what to do for myself that well sometimes. Like I didn't have, I mean, I was in therapy and stuff, but sometimes I just didn't really know how to make myself feel better. And I feel like one big thing I leaned into was just like I want to take care of my health. Like if that's one thing I can control, that's one thing I can control, because I don't know, my mental health was like just a bit tough. Like how long is this going to be happening? And I feel like my mental health has improved like drastically since I was at school though. But the only thing is now I'm just burnt out. But even this year, like completely fell off with that. I used to really eat really well. Like that was really important to me, that I ate. Like I just ate well, regular exercise and stuff. I've been eating junk. I eat so much sugar because I'm so stressed. I eat like two to three treats per day I eat. And I just let myself because this is stressful. So I'm like, I'm not gonna police myself about another thing. So I'm like, if you need sugar to get through this project is so important to me that just eat as much as you want. I don't care. Like as much sugar and chocolate and everything. All right. It's not a cute to-do list, but I just have 3 items for each thing. Not that good. I'm probably gonna go for a walk. Just because I've been also just feeling trapped and restless. This is like, it's sounding like it's the worst thing in the world. And honestly, it does suck, but it's like, it's a labor of love. Like I love doing the project, but I hate the stress and just the feeling of like, let me be free, like get away. I just want to be done so bad. Because I'm like, I just want to spend time on me and like develop myself in other ways, like read, exercise, like have fun, go see, like I don't know, I have friends I need to go see and stuff, and I'm just like exhausted, but it's almost done though. It really is. I keep telling myself that, but it really is almost done. But I've just been feeling horribly trapped, and I think that that's leading. It's like that's part of. I'm just slowing down. I feel like I've just slowed down on everything because I'm just exhausted, and just it's like I just feel like I can't do anything but work, because life is literally, it's like even when just working, I don't feel like I'm doing enough for anything, but which kind of sucks, and I do feel kind of trapped. But again, it's trapped for a good reason, that this paper is almost done, and this paper is like my child. It's like my baby. Like I feel it's so important to me that I don't care. Like I'll just I'm happy to do it. Again, it's really been a labor of love, and I'm so close to done. And it's also my career. Like I was just like, this is my career. This is my future. Like I care about it. So, okay, I'm gonna go for a walk now. Okay, we're back in this extremely random outfit, and I was gonna do work for my real job, but I keep saying real job. I was gonna do work for my current paid job, but I just decided to jump into my project a bit because I just feel like it. So we're gonna do that. So here we are in my very sort of not amazingly written relevance section, which is still a lot of just chunks from papers that I just sort of pasted in, or stuff like that. Like, it's just my messy. This is phase one of my writing, is just write everything in your head as you remember it onto the paper, like just dump it. Section two is just copy paste. I feel like the next section is just create the most choppy and random sort of layout of everything. I mean, I think that's just a normal writing process, right? And then after I go in and fix everything, but yeah. So we're in the choppy section. When I used to write my papers, I used to have one called rough draft. Rough draft was like a mess. Rough draft was just like, it was just like a brain dump with like all of my random little clips and pieces of all of my papers and stuff. And then we had rough draft, which was like slightly more elevated version. And then we had final draft. So I feel like we're like sort of still in rough draft zone right now. And some of my citations are still just things like this. Like, this is my paper about clinicians. And then I maybe should cite some other things. So we're going to go now into what we were basically just talking about, which is this whole issue about recovered memory and the studies I've read on those sort of controversies, I guess. I don't feel like doing this, but how many times can I say it in one video or in one YouTube series? I just want this to be done. I just really, really want this to be done. Because I can't. I feel like once the proposal is done and it's to the point where I'm sending it, I'm gonna feel such intense relief, I think. Because, I mean, honestly, if I finish this and then I get that paper that I really, really, really want, that I know I will get because I decided I'm going to. Once I get this simulation script, I'm kind of a good chunk of the way into this at that point, because I've read over 60 texts. I have like a sort of intro section. I have the basis of my whole thing. And then it's just, yeah, sending it out. Yeah, we'll see. But okay, I'm just going to open the papers, and then I'm honestly going to probably put something on YouTube and not talk through this unless there's something really pertinent to say. But I don't think there is going to be anything that important to say today. The next thing I'm going to do, actually, I might put this on my list right now. So number one thing is going to be dump everything in that section. Number two thing is going to be, I'm going to finally put anything that I want from, because surfing uncertainty. I actually put it in as a citation because that's where I started reading about computational modeling. And I just feel like it should be included because I wouldn't even be writing this without it. I mean, I don't have to, but for some reason I had put it in my citations list. So I'm going to just look through and see if I still want to put that in. We're just going to put some of these papers actually into my notes list, which is going to be dissociation debates and surfing uncertainty. I'm just trying to close mental tabs. I think I've said this before, I don't know, but I have someone in my life who, they get really stuck on things. Like, they get really, really stuck mentally on things where they ruminate a lot. Like, they go back to old things from like years ago. That's like, there's no reason to think about that still, but they're like really still on it. And like, sort of like, what if I did something different? And what I used to tell this person was that you have too many tabs open in your mind, and you need to start closing the tabs, if that makes sense. Where sometimes if you have too many tabs open, it's like, if you have too many tabs open on your computer, you start to run kind of slow, I told her she had too many tabs open and she needed to start closing some tabs. And basically, I'm trying to do that. I use that analogy a lot in thinking about my work sometimes, where I get bogged down with a lot of responsibilities, and it's like the task is just to close some tabs because you have too many tabs open, And yeah, so I'm going to try to close some tabs on my paper, because I feel like when these things are sort of still there, it's like it's almost like another little it's like I just look at it and it's like, that's another thing I have to do. Where it's like, let me not open more tabs without closing old ones, on this paper. And those old ones are just, I need to put some of these papers in because they are stopping me from being done with this. So we're just gonna close some tabs today. And yeah, I'm gonna watch YouTube. Ugh, I just saw the email that said where I was supposed to be for my stats class today. And now I'm just wondering if I'm spending my time wisely. Is this a wise use of my time? I just really just really feel like it is. I feel like it is in my heart. But at the same time it sucks because I just want to lock in, at school. I've been feeling like a bit lost because it sucks as I started this months ago and it's so big. Like it's such a big thing and it's important and it's all this and it's just such a bad timing to be doing this. Like, I don't know. It's actually perfect timing because it's perfect timing that I'll get to do this as my empirical project, perhaps, but it's bad timing in the sense that I just feel like I'm missing out on my classes and stuff. Oh well. Well, what I was thinking, because I was going through that text again. Again, this is my rough draft. So right now this is just like a dump of sections from that paper. I was gonna go all into certain things, but I think that I'm putting too much that could be just in my final draft where I don't think it needs to be my proposal. Obviously I'm not planning it on it being this long. This is for me to make it easier for me to later to just sort of like crunch it down. Oh, this week is reading week. It's just I feel, how can I be behind on everything? I just feel behind. I feel like I'm working as hard as I can on everything, and I just don't feel like I'm enough on anything. This sucks bad, but it sucks because the content is not even difficult content because I've been watching my statistics videos. Like I've been having, this is the other really annoying thing. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. I'm learning R, right? Okay, nobody asked for this, and this is completely unrelated. I just needed to vent about school right now because I've been a little bit irritated. Like, it really should not be a difficult thing. I have class literally 2 days a week. Most of the classes are in things that I'm not completely unfamiliar with. Like, it's not like random. Like, I'm taking like a developmental psychology class, and it's actually really interesting. But I've interacted with like many of the concepts. It's not like cognitively difficult for me. My one even slightly difficult class is this class in statistics that it sucks because it's my one harder thing. But it's the thing is that I actually took I prepared in a way because I took an intro to stats class, like an online one last year, in preparation for the fact that I'd be taking a statistics class for my master's degree program. So every time I'm listening to the videos, like I already remember the content. It's just that the content also I need to translate it into the coding language. And stupid R Studio, is it even gonna load this time around? Let's try that again. Again, so many niche issues, but I think I'm just needing to vent at this point. Like I don't have much exciting to say about the paper at the moment. Okay, it's not even opening at this point. Again, nobody cares. But last week I was having an issue where I tried to update R because it's basically this coding software. I'll show you. And I needed certain libraries. Okay, I needed these two different libraries of different things. And it was so annoying because I went to try to download them and I kept getting this like error message. I was like, why am I getting this error message? And I looked it up on ChatGPT and it said that I needed to update. I probably needed to update my R. So I went to try to update my R. It was like before I had like 4.3 something and I needed 4.5 something or something like that. And I downloaded the update, and the update wasn't like clicking, like it wasn't picking up the update. Okay, so then I was like, what do I do? And I was trying to figure out how on earth to get it on here because I needed it for my homework last week, and it wasn't working. Okay, and then this week I literally went yesterday to a drop-in hour, had them help me fix it, downloaded. I got, obviously you can see I updated it. Look at this. We're going to try to, let me show you what happens now when I try to get it. It's these two libraries that I need, and I just keep trying and trying and trying. Watch it somehow magically load this time because it's just to look stupid. Just to make me look stupid, it's actually going to work. No, look, you see? Oh my God, dude. Every week there's some stupid thing stopping me, and it's like, why? I swear, like, again, my magical thinking gets me through life because when it comes to stuff like this, it's so annoying. I'm like, it has to be for a reason because there's no way that the school year has been so annoying so far. Like, there's just no freaking way. Anything I do now, everything, it aborts the session at every possible thing I could do. So I have to go to probably another drop-in hour tomorrow to get this thing figured out. And so that's another week of my homework that I couldn't do. Luckily, most of my grades are based on final projects, but I should still do this. So I just have been feeling so lost this semester, like, and it really annoys me because I was really hyped up to have like, oh, this is gonna be a good semester, good year. I'm gonna get like good grades. I'm gonna really focus on school, and it's like, no, I'm focused on this stupid paper. Anyways, I think I'm just not gonna go too into everything about this because I don't think a supervisor is even gonna be questioning it in the first place nor caring. The only person I'm trying to convince in the long run with this section in the end is gonna be future readers, because future readers maybe have interacted with the whole recovered memory thing and like care and stuff. But this one is just gonna basically be even this that I keep putting my hand on the screen like you can see. This is gonna get chomped down like crazy. On another unrelated note, I'm currently watching this video. I'm not gonna link it and I'm not gonna say who it's talking about. It's talking about a few different celebrities, but I don't even like being into celebrities because if they're people. I mean, I'll like I'll engage when other people have videos. Like it's sometimes interesting, but I don't know. You just never know. But the video is not really like celebrity gossip. It's talking about certain like women who celebrities who are basically just falling into traps that other women get into, but it's like it's kind of hard because like there was one about this one celebrity who is just wrote this really rude song about these other women. Like she published this album, but she's just basically talking about all these women in it and just in such a rude way, and she's like extremely rich, extremely famous, and it's just people were talking about how she's punching down. It's just like, just extremely mean-spirited things. And like I'm not it's like it's hard to even explain everything that the video is talking about. It's sort of linking these different people. And it's talking about this one person right now who they just got into a really bad agreement with this person. I'm not even going to go into detail because again, it just feels a bit mean. Like the video isn't mean-spirited, but I feel mean being like talking about it. But basically she just got into this bad agreement with this individual who's a man, and it's just talking about the concept of pick me's. Basically women who like they are obsessed with having people pick them or like men pick them and stuff. And sometimes I feel bad that I'm not really immersed in dating. But then I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I hear stories about men who are or women dating men. There's another celebrity right now who I haven't watched the videos yet, but I keep getting videos on my YouTube about how this person like their husband hates them like so outwardly and they will just sort of allow it. And I'm like, maybe I'm not doing that bad. Like I feel, it's like I'm not letting a man ruin my life right now, and sometimes I feel pressure as a woman like I should be engaging more or like I should be dating someone, but then I hear these stories, I'm like it's so good to not have a man ruining your life. It's so good to have not have a man ruining your mental health and ruining your mentality and to just be working on yourself and working on your things. And I'm like, I don't actually feel like I'm missing out on anything that much, actually. When I watch these videos, it reminds me the reality because in my head, it's like, oh, I could be out and have like these really cute sort of like movie dates, movie situations, and like me. You know what I mean? Where it's like I've never like every woman that I've met in my life, particularly my age, who's dating like men or women, honestly, both dating anybody. It's like they're just out here struggling for their life, and like yeah, I feel like no matter what, it's like the girlies are out here really struggling, and I'm like, you know what? I'm actually not mad about my own my own life decisions right now because yeah, it's hard. It's like how are these women who are so wealthy and successful and all these things like they'll just have these men will be doing them so dirty. Like I'm thinking of one really beautiful, really successful woman this could encompass so many people because it happens to so many of them. And she got cheated on. I'm thinking of one specific person, and then three or four more gorgeous celebrities came to mind. How? How do you have the most beautiful, successful woman, like ambitious, amazing, like all these different things, and you're cheating? You know what? I'm not mad I'm single anymore, actually. I need to watch these videos more to remind myself that I'm overstressing myself and that I'm really not doing that bad. And it's really tough being a woman, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, that's basically this is the end of the rough section of this part. So we have everything here. Obviously, this is a lot of clips from like papers. Like I didn't write any of this myself. Except random sentences like this one. Very messy, but it's done. I don't need to add anything here except maybe I'll throw in some more citations or something. But I have more things, but they don't need to all be in the proposal for now. They can go into my final draft essentially. But honestly, this is not too far off from how I'm gonna discuss it in my final draft, which is kind of nice. This video really has me reflecting. I feel like this project saved me from living a male-centered life so much. I feel like I have a woman-centered life in a lot of ways. I have a science-centered life and a woman-centered life because I feel like I devoted my early 20s to like I guess to women's rights, honestly. I really dedicated my early 20s to I want to see women have more. I want to see me as a woman have more. And I think that actually it sucks right now because obviously in the long run I want to spend more time on like I do want to spend more time on my appearance and on me and like my free time and etc. and just expanding on some less intense elements of myself. But I was really thinking earlier today like who knows where my career is going to go from here, but it feels like it's really going up in a good way right now and I feel a lot of faith in where my career is going. I never thought that I'd be here with this, you know? And I don't think your career should be everything, but it's not even about my career like money, but it's about my purpose. I feel like I really got aligned with my purpose in the world. And I don't think I'd be happy without that sense of purpose that I got from doing this work. And I feel like living a life filled with purpose. I keep thinking how, I'm a bit of a lover girl. I'm not going to lie. Like, I feel like I really like people a lot when I do like them and all this stuff. I haven't had a crush on like a random person or something in like quite a while. I haven't had a situationship in years. That's healing right there. I haven't had a situationship in years. I don't even think about men like pretty much ever. I think about like my future relationship. I think about how I want my future love life to go and stuff, but I don't really think about men like that. Like I think I used to spend more time when I was a teenager, when I was in college, thinking about if men found me attractive, if I was attractive. Granted, I am bisexual, but I feel like because, that's how we're socialized. I think I women are often socialized to do a lot of thinking about how men perceive them and etc. and stuff, but and yeah, I feel like even it's given me space to reflect on my own queerness because I think that I was really I don't know, I was just really in that male wasn't a male centric zone, but I think a little bit in a way, like in college and stuff, like I feel like I spent a lot of high school being like, I want a relationship and like stuff like that. And I do still want a relationship. But I think is the nice thing is that I trust now because I went down this path that when I land in a relationship, first of all, it'll be, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I have plenty of opportunities to go down paths with people and I just don't because I'm like, I don't, that's not where I am right now. Like I've had opportunities, I just haven't chased them because I've been chasing this, right? And it's felt nice. This grew so much and it's something that I feel so much pride in. Like you just can't take away the pride that comes from doing something like this by yourself and everything and putting that work in. Like nothing can take away this pride for me that I feel. And I just trust that when the time naturally comes for me to be in a relationship with someone, like I'm there and I have a sense of purpose in the world and I did something special and I feel strong in myself and I feel like I have a lot to offer. I feel stable. All these different things that I think I didn't like when I was younger. I don't know, I just feel like I felt so much pressure to be like I need to go out and date people. Where it's like, yeah, you can go date people, but it usually ends up messy.
I would start talking to people. Like I'd be like, oh, I should. I feel like I felt a lot of pressure like in college. Like it wasn't even like I want to date someone, but I should be dating somebody. I should be out dating. I should be out talking to particularly men. I should be out talking to guys. I should be finding guys to be attracted to me. Where it's like it wasn't even for me to a certain degree. It was just a pressure, right? And I feel like the more I stepped away from that, the more I was like, oh, I don't even authentically feel that called to do that. And it's, I think again, it's like I felt that made me feel at first worse about myself because I was like, well, I'm not. I think deep down, subconsciously, it's like I'm not making some man, I'm not entertaining some man, or I'm less of an object for men because I'm not out doing that. And it's like subconsciously, I feel like men would be sort of like it makes me less attractive, you get me? Where it's like, who cares? I just don't care anymore at all. I don't think I just don't think about men that much. I just feel like I'm really working on my thing, and I just dedicated this part of my life to women, like to or like not even just to women, to people with trauma, to people with survivors, people who navigated sexual abuse. Men deal with sexual abuse. People who are not men or women also have dealt with plenty of sexual abuse. But I think that in the back of my mind, this was a women, like it was a bit of like a women's rights issue for me because I saw a lot of women being impacted by this lack and by the narratives and things. And yeah, I don't know, it's just like this is really a thing of like I want women to have more, and I want myself to have more as a woman, and that's felt good. I don't know. And like, yeah, why am I gonna just go force myself into a low quality relationship when, yeah, I just feel like now when I go and speak to people, I think before I was so much more willing to look over red flags because the point was just to like somebody. Granted, I never actually got into a full relationship, but I felt like I should talk to people more and all this stuff like that. But it's like I felt the need, even with people I liked back in like high school or college, like I felt the need to overlook red flags or overlook things that were like, oh, like stand up, like they don't like you, or like, stuff like that, because it was like the goal was just to get into a relationship and to feel attractive and to feel socially acceptable. Where it's like now I think I it wasn't, see, that's the thing. I think for a lot of women it's like it stops being about you and your desire to be loved and your desire to be happy and in a relationship, and it starts being about, am I acceptable and am I attractive? Where I think that now when I step into relate, or like when I speak to people, I'm more likely to look at them and scrutinize them and be like, do I actually like this person? Am I attracted to them? Do I feel comfortable around them? Do I actually enjoy being in their space, or do I really authentically see myself in a relationship with them, or do I just feel the pressure to interact with them because you should be talking to a guy and talking, or a woman, because I went and I finally, I didn't, I had like crushes and stuff. I'd even kissed a girl like like high school was the first time I kissed a girl, but I never got into a full relationship with a girl or with a guy. I never actually even went into a, this is like, I don't know why I'm spilling all this now, but I never had my first actual date with a woman until like last year or something. I feel like the the template in my head for relationships was like, okay, go and talk to guys. That was just like, that was the norm. And even though I knew I was bisexual, um, I just never felt, I don't know, I just never went out and like actually was like, I'm gonna go date a woman, or I'm gonna go on a date with a woman. The only date I've been in the last 2 3 years was with a woman. That's the only date I went on, and they were chill, but it didn't, like, I just was like, I don't know, I don't see myself in a relationship with them that much. And I just feel like I just feel that scrutiny more when I go meet with people, where it's like, do you actually want a relationship with them, or do you want them to approve of you, or do you want to feel socially acceptable that you're talking to somebody? And it's like I feel like you get people where it's like you constantly feel, I felt in college, I really felt this, like the pressure to be always in a talking stage with somebody, where it's like, but I don't really like any. Sometimes I'd look at the people back then where it's like I noticed red flags with certain individuals. I didn't date them, but like fully, but like I started, but I was like, maybe I should go on another date with them, I'm thinking of one person in my head, but I was like, I should, like, yeah, I don't actually enjoy spending time with this person that much. I feel like their energy's kind of off. I don't know, but it's like, oh, but no, but you should get over that hump and you should go on another date, even though I felt uncomfortable. Um, and then once it got to the second date, then I was like, absolutely no, 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 no. The red flags were crazy by day two. I was like, no. So then I was like that. I learned my lesson actually. I was like, don't don't go on second dates with people that are weird. Luckily, I mean, it was fine, but I was just by date two, I was like, this person's a little, I don't know what's happening here. But anyways, but yeah, I just feel like now I've really been in this era of like, again, it's not even about like, it is about my career. Like I want a good career, but it's even more so about my purpose and following my sense of purpose and my sense of like what do I have to offer the world and like wanting to give to the world and be of use and of service to the world rather than I don't know, like I just feel like that's been useful. And I feel like there's almost this propaganda where for women where it's like, well, if you're focused on your career, you're gonna be unhappy. And like you get all those Hallmark movies and these movies of women that are this is propaganda, no lie. Every movie that I've seen where it's like a woman has a big career, all of a sudden she will leave the career that she built for a man because the career would have been unfulfilling to her. I have this YouTuber I like watching, her name is Netflix Party. I'm not trying to plug her again, but I just authentically have been watching her videos a lot. But basically she just makes these funny videos where she's watching these like just these kind of bad rom-com movies and just like joking about them. Like authentically, I just watch this person a lot, which is why she has come up. But anyways, but I've been watching her videos recently and it's nice because I get to watch those movies without actually having to watch those movies. And I swear, so many of them have the same propaganda effect where it's like they always have a nice job. I'm gonna link the one I watched her video of it was like my Oxford year. And it was this trope again, where a woman has a big job in New York. It's always in New York City. They have a big finance job set up, and then they go off and they basically go and they find this man who's adventurous and he's against the plan. He doesn't plan like that, but he's still wealthy. He's always wealthy, but he just doesn't follow a plan. And then the woman falls in love and decides that her career is completely unfulfilling and that she doesn't want to live by the plan and she wants to go off and be with this flaky man. Both of the movies I'm thinking of in my head, I'm thinking of this one and I don't remember the name, but it was one where they fall in love and go to Spain. They're in Spain. It's always the most flaky man. And in both movies, they were on their deathbed as well. Both of them were sick. I'm like, you are throwing your career away for this man who's flaky, left you, like, just left you or something. Um, like, no plan for the future, barely wants to be with you. All of these different things, and it's like that's the better alternative than you going and having a fulfilling job and having money and all these things. It's propaganda, I swear, because it's not just this is the thing is that those movies make it out to be like this, like your career, it's like this like chain that's holding you down and like you can't it's just they're always often some corporate job which is like well then just get a different job, but it's like it's always like I don't know, it's just always this sort of thing where it's like your career isn't like it's not even just about money because I think they're like the plan and money is less important than love, where it's like first of all no it's not, but second of all um it's not just about your stability, it's not just about you making money, it's about what are you going to offer the world, who are you, what does your soul mean, what is your soul here for, who like you know who what do you have to give, and all these different questions that I think are more centered in my career than am I going to make money and all this stuff. I care about making money. I'm going to say that as a woman I do care about making money. It's not a bad thing to care about making money and have stability. Men care about it, we should care about it too. It's not, and not I'm not even a super mega capitalist or anything like that. I'm just saying that from like a again, I'm a frequent listener of Financial Feminist and other financial podcasts that are more geared towards women. I am a financial feminist. I do believe that women should also care about making money and having stability because that's the world we live in and we're often sold as women that we shouldn't. But I find it very important. But if you're like, oh no, I don't, your career is so cold and stuff like that, you can still have a family and have a career. you can still be happy and have a career. You can have money as a woman and still find love. If a man is asking you to drop everything and have no life and have no career and have no anything to just to be with them, I'm not interested because I want a life. And I like, it's like the thing about my career, it's not just about money, it's about giving back to the world, and also and feeling like, what is my soul here on earth for? You know what I mean? That it's not. And again, I think that often when people think of like, oh, you associate your job with that, it's like it feels like it's this sort of capitalism thing, where it's not a capitalism thing. I'm here because I want to support, I want to expand the lives of people with who have been through trauma. I'm here because I want to break through certain barriers in the way that we think as a society. I love science. I want to do more science. I want people to have medication, all these different things that are like they're more important to me than like, am I like a corporate baddie? And if you want to be a corporate baddie as a woman, I support you. Go do it. It's like, it's not a bad thing, and we just keep getting sold this propaganda through these absolutely stupid movies, through these Hallmark movies, through these rom-coms that are just like it's always the story, and it's like, why are we being sold this story over and over again? Why does the man never leave his life to go to the woman? Why doesn't these men, well, if the problem is you're going to have now this caretaker who's dropped everything to be with this person that you just met, why don't you go move to New York with her, and she can have her job and take care of you, and you can be taken care of her by her financially as well while you're sick? They don't tell that story because it subverts like patriarchal ideas, right? It's like of women supporting men, where it's like, doesn't that seem more logical? She has a nice job lined up in New York. You go be with her. You didn't have a plan in the first place. She does have a plan. Go be with her, who she has a plan, and then you can go live your little loosey goosey life while she has a nice job. Like it's always the opposite, where it's like women should sacrifice everything to be with a man. Where it's like, why? I want to make money and I want to live my life. I would never be with a man who, if I just met you on vacation and you're telling me leave your corporate job that you have to be with me and go wander around and do nothing, no, we're done. We're done here. We're not going to speak again, because what? So yeah, I don't know. I just have been thinking about that as I watch these videos, where it's like it's about purpose, and it's about feeling in alignment with your purpose. And I think that we always, one of the people in this video, actually, maybe I will link it just for the sake of other people watching it. I'm not bashing anybody who's talking in it. I don't want to bash women for the, it's very complicated being a woman. It's very complicated dealing with the patriarchy, dealing with the stories that we internalize in the patriarchy and everything. And it's I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. So I don't want to bash these women for the way they're navigating the world, even if they are rich and famous. I think we should still give people that grace, particularly from a feminist perspective. I think that we should be less harsh on each other as women and seeing each other navigate these things, because it's a learning process. It's like a long learning process. We're all learning how to navigate the patriarchy together, and etc. So I'm not looking at this video and blaming, but I think that it's a good, I think the point of the video in the first place was to just talk about like these sorts of traps that we often fall in as women and fall into as women. And yeah, I don't know, I'll link it below in case anyone wants to watch it. But the last person in the video was also talking about her, like the last celebrity, the difficulty she was having was that she felt like she had to give up. She never envisioned herself as a parent or a wife. She wanted to be a career person, and then she became, like, very famously, she's almost, I feel, kind of known as like a wife to a very famous man, and she felt a little bit like, I don't know, just different, I think, than she expected was the idea. But I think that makes sense. I think that I think it's having a in anything that we should do, we should feel a sense of purpose and a deep sense of purpose in our lives, and like, why are we here? What are we doing? And it's like, if someone is taking you, if you feel purposeless, like, I think that that's an issue. And whether you can find purpose in being even a stay-at-home mom, I don't think that that's something that nobody should be that. We should all be career people. If you don't authentically feel the need, that's fine. But I think we should all be financially safe, though. as a financial feminist, I think we should all, if you're going to be a stay-at-home mom, still have a savings account and etc. because you never know how things could go. But at the same time, I think that it's about what where's that purpose for you, and how, and do you feel that sense of deep purpose? And I think that the patriarchy often discourages us from feeling that sense of purpose, and we feel empty. We feel like we're followers following people around in their lives and their careers, and we feel discouraged from following that sense of purpose that we find in our own sort of singleness or in our careers or in anything, and we should just follow the purpose of a man, where it's like, I don't this is none of this would happen in my life if I was just following some man around Spain and doing nothing. Like, no offense, but that's not even a real person. But you get me. I think, yeah, I don't know. Okay, that's it on that. But yeah, so I basically finished that section up, and then the next thing I need to do is figure out this little piece, like what I need to do reading for that actually.
Happy Halloween. What am I doing today? Am I partying? Am I going out with people? Am I putting on a costume? No. No. I'm working on my project. I'm actually annoyed, but I only have a few friends here, and I'm a bit shy to ask them what they're doing for Halloween because I don't want to invite myself to their plans, you know? At college, I would have been going to Halloween party. If I was in my hometown, I'd be going out drinking with my friend. We'd be going to a club. We'd be getting dressed up. That's what I did the Halloween before I left for London. Unfortunately, London is just different. In London, all I do is work. All I do is work. Should I try to find something to do? I don't even know. I worry about going somewhere by myself as a woman. That's my big thing. Like, going out to like a big party kind of thing. If I don't know people, I'm not going with a group. So I've been kind of lost. Like, okay, we're gonna FaceTime both of my friends. No, we're gonna FaceTime my bestest friend and see if she's doing anything. This is the like the test. If she picks up, I will talk to her and figure out something to do. But if she doesn't pick up, we're gonna make this a Halloween themed work session. Which I know sounds sad, but genuinely I just feel like my life would be better if I finish this by like a significant amount. So I'm gonna see. Let's try to call her. I'll go all out. I'll play Halloween music. I'll buy myself like Halloween food. Also, though, if she doesn't respond, she's fake. And she'll be exposed in this video for being fake. Oh, she's not fake. Bye.
Oh, it's it's one of those shirts that are like basically like a bra, and it's just like.
What do you think? Should I be a bunny?
No.
Okay, wait. Our next options, yes or no?
I'm not about to get my nails done.
You could do Britney Spears. Britney Spears.
Yeah.
Yes? Okay, let me show the other option. Just in case. Could do like mermaid kind of vibes. Because I have this green dress and then I have this like Britney Spears is better.
I feel like even though we're not together, you do mermaid, I'll do siren.
That'd be so cute. Should we do it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really feeling this right now. This is not the mermaid look I thought it was gonna be. That's cute. Should we be witches?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Now I have to find a witch outfit in my closet. Okay, vampire. I'm not feeling these costumes, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's just not, it's really well, I'm gonna still try it, but I'm not feeling it so far. I feel like this is not a good Halloween year for me. No, I still want to do vampire. I think it's because I used to have dark hair, like darker hair. Now my hair is my natural hair color, and it's just it's not like gothy. I don't know, it's not matching I feel like I look like Little Red Riding Hood right now, not a vampire. I've never put on falsies like fake eyelashes, but I actually got some at the beauty shop the other day just to try on. And I need to find them, but maybe this is the occasion to use them. Bro, I'm about to look, no, because I'm really not good at makeup. Oh my gosh, she's about to look crazy. No, wait, come back. Get back in here, wait, no, I'm actually mad because look how good she looks. Wait, pull up like really up into the screen and show your costume. What? No way. And I'm sitting here not even knowing what shirt to put on. Okay? If you know me from college, you saw me use this shirt at every party, and I'm gonna use it again tonight. Okay, I just feel a little bit lost costume-wise this year. I don't have like any. I'm like, where's my? You know what? Let's look through the jewelry and see if I get inspired because I'm just gonna pull out everything cool that I own. I'm gonna show it and then I'm gonna figure out what of those things I should be or what I should wear. Basically, I ended up getting tickets to like a little girl pop night thing. I don't know. It starts at 11, so it was free. I was just like, why not? Hopefully I make it home safe. I get scared as a girl, but we're gonna go. I said I never lose this ring. This ring's always with me. We're gonna see from here. Maybe I can like come up with some magical idea. I'm just gonna start putting jewelry on and see what costume goes from there because I really have no ideas right now. And I feel like I don't like where are all my clothes? I feel like I can't even find them. Like my cool clothes. It's because I have not shopped in so long. Like I feel like I usually go thrifting so much and I just don't like I haven't even gone thrifting really this year, which is annoying. So I don't even have like cute stuff.
I don't know if you
What in the world? Oh, wait, show it again. What? What? No, you look like you're in a Pinterest board right now. What?
it's not sad.
This is sad. I can't. Oh my gosh. I feel like this is my flop year for Halloween.
Not,
No, I'm gonna put it together. Okay, well, that's not happening, but look how cute this is. My bracelet, I can't get it on. It's annoying. I think like a hook fell off or something because I really can't even get it on. Maybe I'll try to go back to mermaid. I just feel like I wish I had like a little like bralette or something. I feel like men are scared of beautiful women such as yourself. Yes, I feel like they get intimidated. But I feel like you definitely are intimidating. Yeah, I didn't want to use those words, but yeah.
like,
RBF.
it's like a bitch.
No, I just feel like you look really serious and like I don't know how to put it. Yeah, that's why I feel like people are intimidated. But okay, I'm gonna walk to Sainsbury's and see if they have anything left because I have no ideas and I have like what? I still have like 3 hours, but yeah. You should go to Goodwill at the same time I'm going to the grocery store. Even though I think I'll finish first because I just have to walk there, but I just need to look cute because British people scare me. I'm not gonna lie. And I need them to talk to me. Because if not, I'm just gonna well, it's chill if I go and dance by myself, but British people scare me and I feel like they're not gonna speak to me if I don't. Okay, but you have not seen people here in London. They're so hard to talk to. They're intimidating. I feel like they're definitely intimidating. They're so in their own little world. I feel like they're not outgoing. Like I feel like when you go to the club in the US or something, you go to the bathroom, everyone wants to talk to you. But I feel like here, like people are just in their little groups, you know? Like, it's so hard to make friends. I feel like, yeah, the only thing is New York. I feel like New Yorkers are serious when you're walking around. They have that vibe, like they don't want to interact with you. But if you go to a club or something, or if you go to like a bar, they're gonna talk to you. But I don't feel like Londoners are like that. Maybe that's just me, but tonight I have to make friends. So that's why I have to have a good costume. So wait, I'm gonna go to the grocery store then. Okay, Janelle is currently Goodwill shopping. I'm back. I have pomegranate seeds and this coconut water, but no costume. I feel like I'd be more inspired if I like washed my hair and like I'm breaking out so bad. I haven't got my brows done in so long. I feel like I should do everything. Cause like I'm gonna share my screen and then I'm gonna unmute myself so Janelle can hear my Pinterest, like my ideas. But basically I'm gonna go on Pinterest and see if there's any costume idea for me. And then I'm gonna show you guys where I'm going because by the time I post this, it'll be past Halloween. So I'm
Wait,
back.
Do you think a peasant dress would go with that? No, I don't want to wear a peasant dress.
Okay, this is what I'm going to. I wanted something all girls, but I couldn't find that per se. I thought this was gonna be that, but it's girly pop, like literally girly pop. Okay, wait, my question is who is gonna be bumping into Mitski at the club? I've never heard a Mitski song that works for like a club setting, so that's gonna be interesting for sure. I'm just looking, wait, sorry, I'm just saying because I'm looking at the list of music that they're gonna have at this thing, and a lot of it makes sense, but some of it is like, what? Mitski? And then the other one that's kind of weird is no offense. Taylor Swift is kind of a funny option. Not because her music is bad, but it's just like who is clubbing to like I'm just curious what this vibe is gonna be. I thought it was gonna be like obviously Charlie XCX makes sense, but or like, Addison Rae or whatever, but like I don't know, some of this is I'm just curious to see what the vibe is gonna be at this. Are people gonna be standing around? It's probably gonna be one of those things where people are jumping around and singing, like, like nobody's gonna be like grinding and twerking, Maybe.
Yes. I hate to break it to you, but that sounds like the fucking club in downtown Richmond.
Yeah,
White
yes.
girls be going in.
What, like people actually be dancing in Richmond?
Like, when I tell you, and I'm not
Maybe.
in.
Like how, like twerking and stuff?
Like, I don't even know what to call it because I can't really understand what's happening. But, like, there's just a lot of energy. That's the only way I can say it. Like, there's just energy.
They're like white girl dancing or something? What are they?
It's white girl dancing.
Yeah. I think that's what it's gonna be tonight. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it's gonna be a lot of jumping around and like, which I'm not mad about. I will be doing that, but just because they pulled up the Mitski, so I don't think anybody's gonna be like twerking in the club to Mitski. I do think it's gonna be jumping around kind of vibes,
So isn't she the one that just sings My Love?
Yes, she sings like I love her, but she sings like, like nobody, no, I don't know if that's not popular that much.
That's what it is.
Maybe it will be a Mitski disco remix.
That's probably what it's gonna be.
I wouldn't mind that. That'd be kind of cool. Okay, I'm just looking for stuff that I have like the clothes for. I wish I had the clothes for this, and I would go as Nana in like a second.
Wait, what about like? Oh well, your hair's not that dark.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like Marceline.
Yes, when I had dark hair, I feel like my costumes work better. Like, because I feel like dark hair and Halloween goes well together. Where my hair color does not go well with any Halloween costume. It's not a Halloween hair color.
You make like a hot, like little Brazilian soccer player.
I really would have. I even thought that.
So cute when you put your hair up in that ponytail and like the front of it like falls a little bit.
Thank you. I thought that myself. But wait, you look so cute in this. Wait, can I show you off again?
I love that you're just like I want to show off my wife. Like,
yes, I'm showing my wife off because you look so good in all these costumes. Wait, I'm gonna show Janelle off again. Wait. Let me show you off. Wait, 2 seconds. Because she was suggesting I'd be like an undead schoolgirl, which I think I'm gonna go with. But wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. What? You look so cute. Okay, I'm gonna do that. I think I'm back to the red dress. Like, I'll make something up with this. I don't know. I guess I can still just be a vampire. Or we're gonna find a red dress costume. I feel a little bit superstitious about being a devil. I don't know, like I'm not even one of those people. I could just be a vampire.
That is literally the easiest because a vampire can literally be anything.
Do I straighten my hair?
You can literally wear a hot dress.
Okay. We're back with very wet hair. I just remembered I don't even have a hair dryer, so I'm probably not going to get to straighten my hair, but that's fine. And I kind of tried to fix up my eyebrows. My eyebrows are one thing on my face that if I don't have my brows like threaded, I just feel off, and I just haven't gone to get my eyebrows sorted in like a while. I was thinking of this funny story when I was in the shower. I had this crazy toxic friend group in freshman year, which is the story of why I'm here doing this paper in the first place. They were like my villain origin story, no lie, but anyways, I don't think about them that often anymore, but I was thinking about them today when I was doing my eyebrows because basically the story, so there was 3 of them that were like crazy toxic, and they teamed up for like this super villain trio. Like all 3 of them were uniquely extremely toxic in their own ways. So anyway, so they paired up essentially and were just they were just on a rampage of toxicity essentially. And then there was me and another one of my close friends in the group, and they were just traumatizing the 2 of us in unique ways essentially. They were just crazy, but I always think for some reason, like, this just comes up to mind every once in a while, but basically there was one time, this was near the time that we were all gonna start falling out, like, rapidly. The red flag started showing up quick, but we were only friends for maybe, well, I'm not gonna go on to the whole story, but it started falling apart fast because these people were just insanely toxic. But anyways, there was one day that we had all gone on vacation, which we only got to be on vacation for like 2 days before COVID hit. But basically they said, they were like, what if they said they were having this little hypothetical situation, like what if we had a baby that was all of the group's baby, like with features of everybody in the baby, what would the baby, like what traits would they have? What traits would the baby have essentially? And they were so fake. They gave the baby all of their own features, like amongst the 3 of them. And then when it came to the 2 of us, like me and my friend, they started giving them they chose the most unnecessary and random things. They said the baby would have my eyebrows. I was like, let's backtrack. Give the baby my whole face. Y'all, it's about to be a hideous baby. I'm sorry. I was just like, okay. And I don't even feel like my eyebrows were like that special. Like I was like, they're not good. You just gave something random to the, like, you just didn't have anything left for me or for my friend. I don't even remember what they said, which trait they said of my friend, but it was something so, I think they said they'd give it his hair, something like that. Which, like, okay, I guess that's not that bad, but I was like, my eyebrows, I'm sorry, of all the traits on my face, that's like the most random one. Yeah, they're fake. You know, when you have those fake friends where they just put you down, like, and I feel like you don't really notice it. Like, you kind of just start to take it, and then you notice it in hindsight, and you're like, what? I think especially for me, I was like 18, and yeah, I don't know, I was just really young and stuff. I just didn't have like that much experience with, I don't know. I guess I didn't see it. Like, I'd never had a friend that like fake friends like that, you know. My friends are always pretty chill, but you live and you learn. I was literally thinking recently how I feel kind of glad. I feel like I learned a lot at like a young age, you know? Like, I learned a lot about people and just the kind of people to avoid. That's why I just mind my business now. I'm not gonna talk to anybody. But I'm just very like selective because I feel like I very quickly, I'm like, that's gonna go downhill quick. Like, when I'm talking to people, I'm like, that's just not gonna go right. And like, I just have the experience to know. I had multiple toxic friendships like the first year or 2 of college, and then I learned like crazy toxic, like crazy toxic the first 2 years. And then after that, everybody was great because I was like, I'm not messing with any crazy people anymore. But it's good. I feel like I learned a lot of stuff that year too. Like, I was even reflecting on how I feel like for example, I mentioned in another video about this deeply traumatic situation where I learned to leave. Like, I learned to not stay around people who are like problematic like that, because it took me a really long, granted I was a victim, but at the same time, I feel like I was a victim by month 3, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like at that time, like, I really didn't know, like, I didn't have the knowledge to be like, oh, red flag, get out of there quick because it's gonna blow up in your face and like you're gonna feel dumb, you're gonna feel like bad, because I feel like I was like, oh, they were actually problematic, like extremely problematic, and I kind of stayed around and stuff, you know. I just learned not to do that. If somebody's problematic, it's just never worth it for me anymore. Like, I don't know, like if people are presenting troubling behaviors, I'm not going to be one of those people that's like, I'm going to stick by you till the end, where I think that back then, like, I just learned that lesson quick, where first of all, they traumatized me. So then I was obviously in this abuse mentality in the first place, but then also as I was deep into it, like it changed my self-esteem where I was like, oh, I'm just like a bad person by association. Everybody like stopped being friends with me. So I just felt, this is randomly deep, but I just fell into like a kind of like a pit with it. Like, oh, I'm just a bad person. Like that's just who I'm gonna be, and like, et cetera, et cetera. And like at this point, like I'm already branded that. And I was like, I just didn't know how to get out of the situation, you know, at the time. And then I learned, I got out of the situation and et cetera. But I was like, you know what? Problematic people, you don't want to go down with them. You know, I see people all the time where they like, somebody's been like consistently problematic, and all of a sudden it comes out, and then people are like pointing fingers, like, oh, you were friends with them, you enabled them. I mean, I feel like I kind of learned my lesson with that. It was just like, don't even engage. If you can see that it's going to go downhill that way, like it's just really not worth it. And I think that, again, I was kind of a victim at the same time, so I'm not even trying to like be mean to myself about it, but I'm grateful for that. Like I just never want to be that. If you're gonna be like, I don't know, that's my thing. Like if you're gonna be weird, if you're gonna be assaulting people, if you're gonna be problematic to people, like I'm just not gonna go down with the ship with you. Like I'm not gonna stick around for that. If it's something that we can talk about face to face, like if it's something that's like I can just have a conversation with you and be like, hey, like that's not really that great, or you know, like I should say it, right? And I'm not trying to be like I'm gonna jump ship at the first sight of anything. Like I want to be a good friend too. And it's not, but for me, it's not even about like baseline things, but just like when you start to see that pattern, and once you get the sense like this is not going to go well, and this person has got something really deep that they need to navigate, and like etc., like I'm out. By my last year, I was spotting it in people and I was out. I was like, no. And I was right a lot of the time. And it's just like, no, we're not doing that again. I'm not going to go down with you if you're going to be weird. Because then it's like, why am I risking my own sanity, my own friendships, and etc. to like be in a mess with you because you want to be problematic? Not my business. I'm not sticking around for that. So yeah, I'm grateful I learned that when I was like a teenager, because I see people getting in that situation at like, I don't know, like, I don't know, I see people backing people up and they're like, you know, in their 30s, and it's like, you're like, all the time I see celebrities, for example, writing these letters for men, see celebrity men that are like doing these awful things. They're like, I back them, like, I believe in them, I believe they were like, don't do that. What? And it's like it's never true. Like obviously these men with long patterns of abuse end up being abusers, and it's like now you look dumb because why would you even do that in the first place? I don't know, like it's like now your career is sort of sinking, or like now you just look like a bad person, where it's like I'm just not interested in that. I don't care. I'm not gonna stick around if you're being weird. Like it's yeah. Anyways, I was just thinking about that when I was doing my eyebrows. I don't know why, but anyways, this vlog is really gonna be a nothing vlog. I thought I was gonna go into my project more, but I ended up taking a turn. But I'm just gonna keep it because it's kind of fun. We have to like vampire it up now. I just gotta do makeup. This is gonna be my drink. I have gin. I'm gonna put it in here, and then it's good for me because it's coconut water. Also, never done false lashes, but I bought these at the store. I'm not going to risk it. It's not worth it. I'm not going to do this right. Not to condone alcohol drinking at all, but I think if I drink enough, it doesn't really matter if I look crazy or not, you know? Like, I don't know. Where are all my clothes? Where's all my jewelry? I'm just looking around. I don't have a single, like, all of my earrings have, like, a piece missing. I feel like I used to always have cute clothes. I could always put together a costume in a second, and it's like I don't even have anything this year. Like, where are my cute clothes? Like, I don't know. I just need to go shopping. You see, I have not been investing in my looks. I've not been investing time into myself. I've not been investing my money into like clothes, nothing. Like, I've literally just been working this year. This is not bad. We're saving money. Financial feminist for real. Good spending habits. I basically completely messed up my entire living room and bedroom for this mediocre, bad costume. I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually really, really nervous right now. I know it doesn't matter, but I know I'm gonna get there, no one's gonna talk to me. They're all gonna be there with their friends, and then it's gonna be awkward. I would say I'm a confident person overall. We're gonna be like Vivian Westwood vampire. I don't know. I'm out of ideas. We're gonna be high fashion vampire who looks cheap. We're gonna be a cheap high fashion vampire. No, we're gonna be these are knockoff high fashion vampire. Am I even gonna find the other earring? That is the real question. Oh yeah, I found it. We're going as broke vampire this year. Yeah, I don't know. I just have a pit of anxiety in my stomach. I'm gonna go and nobody's gonna touch me. Dude, it's so hard to make friends in London. Wait, I was saying I'm overall pretty confident, but I do get social anxiety. I was pretty shy as a kid, and I'm still, I would say overall, I'm kind of a shy person, but I feel like I can be confident. I've gone to a lot of things by myself since moving here. I actually like going to things by myself. That's one thing about me is I don't feel nervous to go to stuff on my own usually. This one's a bit different because everyone's gonna be there with their friends and it's like a, you know what I mean? And I'm dressed like a cheap knockoff Vivienne Westwood vampire right now, but everyone's gonna be there in like really cute costumes. But I'll be drunk, so it's gonna be fine. See, like what is happening here? What is this? I do like a little updo. I actually have gel, but I'm just worried because I don't want to put it on wet hair, obviously. I just feel like my hair is so thick. I feel like it's not gonna dry cute. I just kind of want the knockoff. Me acting like there's something to show off. I got them for like I don't know. I got them for like £5, but no one can tell the difference, right? I can't. I would know if someone was wearing thick ones. Okay, I need to hunt down my makeup too. I don't even know where that went. I definitely put it on earlier. Okay, that's gonna dry crazy. That's not gonna look good. Okay. This is insane. Is no one gonna talk to me? I was gonna give an update because I actually feel better today about school because I went in to a drop-in hour. Who cares, bro? I went into a drop-in hour and they said that the issue that was happening with my R, like the TA didn't know. She sent it to like the main professor. He was like, I've never seen this before. So that made me feel valid. Like I'm not being lazy or anything. I'm just actually not able to do my work. You know, I'm not conveniently skipping every homework assignment. I just quite literally can't do it and nobody knows how to fix the issue. So that's fun. Is this like, do I look like a butler or do I look like a vampire? That's the question. I also got started on one of my assignments, like my essays, like kind of early today. And I just like did enough work and I don't know, I had kind of a focused day, so I felt better because I just feel like I've been kind of like, I feel like I'm slacking off. I keep giving myself excuses. Okay, now I feel a little bit cuter. Like I upgraded it. Once my hair dries, I might clip it. Do like a little, I don't know. I have no idea yet. But now makeup. Oh, and this is the perfume we're using. I never use this anymore. I used to use this perfume like all the time. Again, brokers only ever have the little roller balls. The only full perfume I own is from TJ Maxx and it's discontinued, but it literally is the best scent in the world. Wait, I'm gonna show it to you in case some random person wants to know this. This is the best scent, not gonna lie. The Daisy Fuentes Violet Bliss. This is from like the 2000s or something. And I just randomly found it at a TJ Maxx and it smells so good. I was literally thinking this is gonna be like my lifelong perfume. I love this perfume so much and it reminds me of myself, you know, like when I smell it, but it's discontinued because it's old. I was so upset. The ones people were selling online on eBay were like crazy expensive. So we're just gonna do makeup now. I don't know. I think I'm gonna play music maybe for a second. Okay, I'm gonna talk about manifestation, or like not manifestation, but it's crazy how you really get in environments that mirror your inner reality back to you. Because back then, like when I was in my first year of college, I thought I was like the plainest human being alive. I never like, I did not, I don't know. I just thought I was really, really plain and like I didn't feel that cute or that girly. Like I felt kind of awkward and like I didn't know how to do. I still am not the best at makeup, I'm not gonna lie, but I want to practice more. But like even like I didn't know how to do like eye makeup, nothing. I didn't know how to do any of that. And all through high school, I just really didn't like the way that I looked, and I just felt like really awkward and stuff. And I had like a really low self-esteem, I would say. So, I feel like when you feel that way about yourself and you get in a situation where people are being rude or like, to get a comment like that, it like, I feel like it just mirrored what I already thought about myself, Like I didn't expect anybody to put any part of my face on anything, I was like, I just didn't think that I was like that cute and stuff. So I feel like I accepted that kind of behavior. And again, like I feel like I learned so much from that situation. I actually genuinely like, as difficult it is as it is, I still struggle with like the events that happened back then and stuff. But at the same time, I should do eyeshadow first. I feel like it genuinely did teach me like a lot about the world. I think that I became a confident person because of that situation, because when you go so low and you just hit rock bottom, that like you just have to go up from there, And I feel like I was so at rock bottom in that situation where I felt so bad about myself. I was so depressed and everything in the aftermath, where it's like, it's like you can only go up from that point on, and you have to learn to love yourself and etc. It really takes practice to build that kind of self-esteem. It took a lot of practice on my end. I still have to practice to this day. Like, it's not easy. I've talked about this many times in this random little video series I'm making, but self-love is really actually quite difficult. Okay, as you can see, I'm not good at doing makeup. Genuinely, I keep telling myself I'm gonna get better, and I just never have the time. I do want to get better though. Like, I want to be someone really good at makeup, but I'm not. Okay, again, if everyone's drunk, it's gonna be mine. It's gonna be dark, hopefully. Yeah, I feel like that situation was definitely my inspiration to like build self-esteem and like never again, you know what I mean? Never again get yourself in a situation where you're getting that kind of message reflected back at you. It took practice. Again, I still landed in another toxic situation after that. It wasn't as traumatic though. It was still traumatic. It was slightly less traumatic. It was just one of those, I'm not gonna give the details, I just was not good at picking friends back then. I was really not, and I would literally ignore every single red flag in under the sun. I was like, yep, that's normal. Like, and I had really, like I said, I was a people pleaser when I got to college. I had really low self-esteem, and like now, obviously, like you can tell that I'm really not that. I don't care. Like, I was telling somebody one time because they were talking about how they felt like they had less self-esteem than other people around them, and it always felt bad to them, like they just couldn't like themselves as much. And I was like, you don't know though, because some people like they learn to have self-esteem from young age, and that's just taught to them at home, because this person wasn't really taught at home to have that kind of self-esteem and self-worth. They had kind of a toxic situation. But I was like, if you can learn to build it yourself, it's so much more powerful. Like, it really, really is. Like, when you have to build that yourself from nothing, and you have to create that energy for yourself, like it gets so strong that like nobody can take it away from you, because you know where it came from, you know why you built it, you know why you have it, you know what I mean? Okay, this is kind of unfair. I feel like I messed it up. I feel like it was cured before, but maybe my makeup will like, maybe my mascara will fix it. So yeah, I feel like I have a really strong like sense of myself now, and again, I struggle with a lot of things. I struggle with anxiety and stuff, but at the same time, I feel really like strong in myself, Like, I know who I am, I know what I want. I'm not gonna let people mess with me. I feel like when I see the world now, I'm like, oh, this is all a reflection of what's inside of me. So like if it's bad, like I need to check myself and check the kind of opinions that I have about myself and like life, and like why do I think I deserve this, or like what am I doing to create this situation in my life, versus being like in victim mode and stuff, Okay, it's not the best makeup. Should I like we need like a little something. Should I do like red lipstick? Ooh, I have body glitter. This is definitely like 6 years old. The other thing is all my makeup is random stuff I stole from my sister's makeup, that it was like all like old makeup, Not all of it. Some of it I recently bought. I recently bought a bunch of new makeup and stuff. Glitter. I'm like, from Twilight where they start glittering. This was such a random segue from me. Like, I started this video like, yes, and so now I'm looking at selective attention and acetylcholine. Like, now I'm just doing like vampire makeup, but I don't know. I feel like now that my project, ooh, this is definitely gonna be so bad for my skin. Let's do it on like everything. I feel like now that my project is getting, that's what I'm saying. That's why like I want it done. I feel like the more my project is coming to fruition, the better I just feel. And I just feel like my soul can relax, you know, because it really did feel like this felt like something that my soul needed to do. I do believe in that stuff, like soul contracts and stuff, you know. I was like, I feel like I had like a soul contract to do this, where it's like this is like the one thing that's like God is like, you have to do this, and like I'll trade you, you know, I'll trade you for it. Like I'll trade you a career and all this stuff. Like I'll trade you like a good life. That's how it really feels for me. That's why I felt so heavy. Like you have to do this. Cause I feel so happy and I feel so fulfilled and like all this different stuff, you know? I just feel like I really did. Like my soul must have signed some kind of soul contract before I came onto earth. Like this is what you'll do when you're here. And like that's why you'll go through the situation. But it's gonna like, it's like a trade-off, you know? Because I feel like I'm happy with a lot of the stuff that I learned and like the person that I became. I should have used this more for contour rather than my cheekbones. All right, this is what we have. Again, I just need to do like some little teeth or something. I keep getting that pit in my stomach like, oh my God, I'm about to go to this. I don't know if that's why I'm anxious. This is so corny, bro. People are gonna be like, what is wrong with her? Yes or no? Do we like it? What is this? I don't know if I like the things. Okay. Well, you know what? We don't really have time to do more, so this is just gonna be the look, I guess. We're just gonna be this random little vampire girl with this random little choker with this random cape. This is like something that people would do to go trick-or-treating in like the 90s, you know what I mean? Like this is like putting a sheet over your head with like holes on it kind of energy. Like, you know, this is not, I don't know, this is just not what I was going for, but you know, I'm not that mad about it. I feel like it turned out kind of cute. At least we're gonna tell ourselves that. And then I have my coconut water, and I should go because it's starting in 10 minutes and it's probably gonna take me an hour to get there. But my mom always says, this is like her thing, she says, no, she has two things: never bring a sandwich. These are all little Brazilian like phrases, and Brazilians are crazy, but she says never bring a sandwich to a party, which is so funny. But basically what that means is like, actually this is kind of funny toxic advice, but it's like, if you're, you know, it's kind of like don't have a long distance relationship sort of vibes. Like if you're going, it's not in essence that, but it's like, for example, if you're going somewhere like really, if you're gonna go somewhere where there's gonna be like, you're gonna get something, don't bring like, I don't really know how to put it, but I think she would tell us that sometimes in the context of like, I don't know, you know what, I'm not gonna go into it, but it's a funny phrase, never bring a sandwich to a party. But I'm trying to remember, I don't know if I remember in exact words the one she would tell us. There's another one where it's like, she told us that my grandma would tell her that you should always come late to a party because there's like an actual phrase that I'm forgetting, but it was like basically don't like show up late to a party because by the time you get there, everyone will already be bored of like the options and you'll be like the new thing, which I don't think that's gonna happen. I bet people are gonna be late to this, but it's only from 11 to 3, so I should go, but my stomach hurts and I'm nervous. Okay, that's gonna be probably the end of this video. It was not science related. We talked about my proposal for 2 seconds and that's it. And then you saw me do my Halloween costume, but you know what? Nobody kill me challenge. Nobody kill me as I walk down this hall, this little alleyway, please. I got scared because there was men walking up behind.
So there we go. It's 2 a.m. I decided to leave because it's just getting kind of late. I was getting tired. And yeah, I just wasn't vibing with the music as much as the night went on. But it was actually really fun. I was extremely sober through all of that. And strangely, I was kind of like, at least in my area, the hypest of everybody around, which was interesting. I literally only had one overpriced weak drink. But yeah, I would recommend.
Thank you.